In today's video, we're going to do a high-level overview of exactly where Kodal Minerals currently sits. We're going to have a look at the previous sort of 6, 7, 8 months, and we're going to have a look at where this baby could go. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy, Hold, Sell. I hope, of course, you are all well. Yes, I'm finally back. I've went into detail in a previous video. I'll share the link to that video. You can go in and watch that. But I have been off YouTube now for over 8 long, painful months. And it's good to be back, trying to get caught up again with all the stocks that we love on this channel. Did Premier African Minerals last week, and now we're covering Kodal Minerals this week. What is Kodal Minerals? It is a stock that's on the AIM market. It is a mining company, and generally speaking, up until about 3-4 years ago, it predominantly dealt with mining of gold. It has gold assets, and that does drive in revenue for Kodal Minerals. However, the reason I invested and got involved in Kodal Minerals over 3 years ago now is down to the lithium deposit that they currently have. We love covering lithium mining stocks on this channel, and if you're interested in that type of thing, you probably should consider subscribing now that we're back covering all of that. The way we did the Prem video, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to look at the last video that I did, and Kodal Minerals was actually the last real video that I did on the stock channel, and it goes back, as you can, way back to January the 19th, days before I had went off, and you can see we were full of celebrations. Show me the money, bit of a chest of 10. Irish whiskey. You can see us opening up the whiskey on the celebrations. You can also see that the snow was outside. Today we have a muggy, gloomy day. The reason we were happy back in January was because the funding had been agreed. As you can see, we had a funding package with Hainan Mining Company. That was huge. That was going to allow us to go into production, get everything that is needed to set up a mining facility in Mali. Now, Mali is a term that people may have heard of and go, oh, I've heard a lot recently in the news. Well, the reason you're hearing a lot about Mali is because the governance is all over the news right now. Absence of foreign forces make Mali more vulnerable. Mali, 3 days ago, at least 49 civilians reportedly dead in attack in a riverboat. Peacekeeping in Mali and Africa in general is never that good. We've talked about it before, but currently right now there is real unrest in Mali, which, and let's face it, is going to be a huge risk for Kodal Minerals. It has affected Kodal Minerals massively over the times that we've been invested in this, going on nearly 3 years now. It does affect the stock massively, and understandably, they're trying to get things signed off with the government, and the government is unrest. So you can imagine the tensions, you can imagine the difficulty for our CEO Bernie currently. So over the last 7 months, quite a lot has happened. We've got our funding in place that we agreed just before we went off, and the share price has done wild and wonderful things, which we'll look into in a moment. The funding package, we have actually received some money on that now. But Kodal Minerals is in a good space. It has the funding agreed, and what it's trying to do now is just get it all across the line. So we'll go back to that video and we'll see where was the share price. The share price at that time was roughly around 0.25, so we have significantly went up. We're actually doubled since then. And you can see roughly from that moment, the falling wedge that I drew, again, technical analysis does play out, even with fundamental news. This was huge. You can see here that this was a really good jump up around 250% from the lows to the high. So phenomenal gains. People in the Discord, and myself included in the Discord, over the time while we weren't on YouTube, we were a community, we were chatting, we were enjoying the good times. Unfortunately, the good times came to an end, a bit like Premier African Minerals. Things then sunk on the back of delay, and that's effectively it. Delay markets don't like delays. If anything gets delayed, if a plane that you're about to fly on to your holiday gets delayed, you're not happy about it, and there's no different for the stocks. People hate delay, they take their money off the table and go elsewhere. Now, looking at the support levels here, you can see great support level in and around that 0.39. We have touched that a couple of times, and we have jumped and went up. Now, my personal situation is with Kodal Minerals, because of what's going on with Premier African Minerals, the delays, the money that was involved and all that, my risk exposure to lithium miners, especially in Africa, is huge. I'm not comfortable really with my position size. As the months go on and the portfolio grows, I can adjust the suit. On the back of the delay that came out on the 31st of August, I sold up everything that I had on rolling of the dice that I could get money in the Prem will take off, get the money back in the Kodal. I'm doing like 4D chess right now, but it's mostly down to the element of risk I'm so overexposed to lithium miners. I've got too much money in Prem, but I feel like I have to buy the dip there because it's a golden opportunity. Meanwhile, I'm hoping that Kodal's not going to go to the moon in the meantime. As of today, I've told my Discord that I have bought back into Kodal Minerals, and I'm delighted to be back in the Kodal Minerals. I've just took the foot off the gas for Prem, letting it settle. Kodal Minerals now looks to be having its new revised deadline, and you have to take this with a pinch of salt because the deadline has changed several times, but it is now the end of September. The 30th of September is the new revised deadline to have everything signed, sealed, delivered. So why does it keep getting delayed? Well, it's all to do with compliance. It is literally trying to get the government to sign this off. Now, this has been an issue with many different things that we've had to get signed with Kodal over the last sort of 3 years. It's a risk. It's the biggest risk, in my opinion, to the whole thing because we know the funding's there. We know that lithium's hot, soaring prices over the last 24 months. That's not going to change. The demand's high. That's not going to change. The resources there. We know what's there. The team's there. The facilities. We know how to do it all. Everything's there. We just need a sign off. It keeps getting delayed. So are they able to get this signed, sealed, delivered this month? Considering all the Mali tensions are probably at the peak height that they've been at for a long, long time. It's a huge risk. But it's a risk that if you want to play, you could be handsomely rewarded. However, you need to have the cojones to be buying this knowing that there could be potentially a dip, and that's the scenario that I'm in with Prem. I bought it, all hoping for the best. I know where it's going to end up. I know also where Kodal will end up. However, we do not know the journey there and the bumps in the road. Both have had several huge big bumps, and this is a massive bump, a massive hurdle for Kodal Minerals to overturn. If they can get it signed, sealed, and it could happen before the 30th, that's the thing, it could happen any day now. As soon as that news comes out, this thing's going to pop. If it doesn't come, it's going to sink. The only thing that is uncertain is the timeline. But I truly believe that this is going to be a highly profitable stock for anyone that's holding. And it's the exact same for Premier African Minerals. I look at both of them in similar light. They're both similar types of stages. They both have funding in place. They both just need to get the production. They just need it to happen. Now, Kodal Minerals needs sign off here so they can get to that stage. So they're a bit further behind perhaps. But this is really, really positive. Everybody's involved, wants it to work. We just need a couple of things to fall in line. If we look at the charts here, you can actually see RSI, MACD, everything's showing there is buying pressure coming in. People are starting to go, right, we kind of know what's coming up. We've kind of got a target in mind, the end of the month. Anything can happen in between now and then. If they can get the compliance stuff signed off, it's going to pop. That's why people are getting excited. And I personally wouldn't go A and B. I wouldn't go all in on this. Nothing is a guarantee. There is huge risks, and I really can't express the fact that there is huge risks. But you're buying in at a decent price. If you're prepared to buy dips if it was to fall, then you'll be handsomely rewarded. You must do your own due diligence on all of our stocks on this channel. That's the update. I'm going to be coming back doing more proper videos. We'll get into the deep dives of the news. I have to cover 7 months here, so hopefully that high level overview gives you an idea of where Kodal Minerals was, where it's going, and what could happen in the future. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Are you still watching the videos? We used to have a good community, good support. Obviously, I've lost a lot of that over the last 7 months. The Discord family has been phenomenal. Discord links down below if you want to get in and get access to the thoughts and all our chat about Kodal Minerals and all our other stocks as well. And if you're interested in learning how to trade and charts and all that, our trading course is now back on live. Discount price at £99. Try and get the community going again. I'll speak to you all soon. Peace.